Yo, this is the Ranking Rizzler on Appropriations, serving Connecticut's 3rd District. It's time to enter your dark academia Congress era. All right, besties, House Appropriation is the money moves in Congress.
Thinking on it like that.
Hey, I'm tripping, I'm sliding, I'm riding through the back like fuck. Bust that on a beat, bro.
And you know what I'm noticing about the Democrats is that they just are trying too hard. You're seeing a lot of Democrats on TikTok and Instagram doing all these kind of like little fun things. And it's because of this past election, they realized that they were way too much on mainstream media, MSNBC, CNN, you know, they were doing way too much mainstream media, and they just didn't get the memo that people were doing podcasts and stuff like that, right? They weren't really doing the mainstream thing. And so now what they're trying to do is turn it over to, we're going to be cool now. But now they're trying too hard to be cool, and now it's coming off as just lame.
Right.
Look, I don't know this lady's name. I'll get her name up here. But she did this TikTok where she's using all the new cool terms. And it's just pathetic.
Oh, this is the Ranking Rizzler on Appropriations, serving Connecticut's 3rd District. It's time to enter your dark academia Congress era. All right, besties, House Appropriation is the money moves in Congress. We are not chasing the bag, we are the bag. Democrats are making life smoother through government funding. It's giving, it's giving. So Sigma, main character energy. But Republicans' Project 2025 is mad sus. Eliminating the Department of Education? Negative aura points. Basically, the biggest phantom tax on the environment, on your education, and your rights. Big L posting it online, buddy. Democrats understood the assignment, but go off. See how I keep you informed? Very cutesy, very demure.
The thing is that
They're not doing it
you know,
right.
politics is down here from culture, so you have to be in the culture, and I think they realize that the mainstream media are out of touch, out of touch professionals that don't really hang around the regular world. They only hang around each other, and so that's what Washington D.C. is. It's just a big club, and so they don't really understand regular people. And it's because they don't really go on podcast.
Yeah,
they don't really go into the world to see how people are. I think that was something Trump did during his election, which made him stand out, is that he went on podcasts that people actually watch, like Joe Rogan and Theo Vaughn, and he made himself sort of this billionaire made himself sort of a president for the people.
Yeah,
because he was willing to talk about things that people were actually annoyed with and want real politicians to discuss. And so they're just realizing that they're just really kind of out of touch. You don't put this old woman here with this blue hair or purple hair, walking around trying to use the old lady with cool lingo, so they can say, oh, look at this feminist, she's cool even in her old age.
Yeah,
you know what I mean. And it's funny. It's like a funny Betty White nod. Where Betty White was an older woman that was always kind of funny, but the difference is that Betty White is an actress,
and she's actually funny.
But that's her job. Her job is to be funny, and she's been doing that for years. This lady is making laws, and
it's not fun.
It's not funny.
It's not funny,
And then to put on at the end, this is why I'm keeping you informed, because they're realizing now people through Doge want to be informed. They want to know, and Trump is doing a good job at kind of just being transparent.
Yes,
and they're trying to say, oh, look, we do it too. They're just really piggybacking off of what Trump has already done, because they realize that he knows culture, so let's just follow him.
Yes.
But at the same time, talk bad about it.
But they also put a video out where they're like, it's called Pick a Fighter, I guess. And again, so corny. It's not gonna resonate to people. Like that's just not the move. I know that it seems like it's the move, but it's not. They're not doing it right. Because even when Trump and Vance and a lot of people in his administration, you know, went on podcasts and things. They talked about policy. Look at these podcasts. Like, majority of the time when they were talking, they talked about policy. They weren't talking about trying to do TikTok trends. You never saw Trump do a TikTok trend.
Yeah.
He went on the podcast and he talked about the policies. And thing is that that's not boring to people who really care. What they need to do is talk about policy. The problem is that their policy sucks. And it doesn't work. It doesn't work for Americans. It's a bad move for America, what they have planned. You know? But the fact that they feel like they can't just talk about what their intentions are when it comes to certain things, and instead try to gaslight people and think you're dumb by having this lady over here with purple hair acting like this and pick a fighter. Jericho Green said that some of these people look like they're on the spectrum. It's true, but these people, they look like they're being made to do this, and I'm gonna do the best I can, but I'm not really that good at it. But okay, I'm gonna go ahead and do it because it's for the team. They're not doing it because they want to do it.
Yeah, and also, Donald Trump struck down DEI, and clearly there are no men in this video. There are only women doing this fight video. And so they realize that when you take DEI away, the people who are going to be affected the most are women. Mm-hmm. Women are going to lose their jobs. Yeah. Because you have to go on merit. Right. And a lot of these women got promoted and got moved up because they were women, not because they were actually doing anything. And so they don't want that to go away either. So they're still trying to show this strong woman, independent women fighting all the time. That's these people get elected in, but I'm just saying in general, they realize that they have to keep pushing this girl power woman thing, which as you see even on Fox News, they're doing it too. This panel of women. But just saying that there's a reason why they did this fight video with no men. Yeah. And again, read the room. They're not reading the room. People are saying that this is not the business. A small fraction of people in the world think this is cool. Mm-hmm. Right? A small fraction of Democrats think this is cool. Other Democrats like John Fetterman and Bill Maher and these people, they're like, this is so stupid. This is so embarrassing. Anyways, here's a video of Bill Maher talking about the Democrats and their shenanigans.
What's going on the left. And by the way, if you watch the speech, I saw mostly the clips of it, and mostly it was people in the audience, the guy with the cane, people with, like, paddles. Oh, there's the cane dude. And then there's, okay, here's our pussy hat uniform. And these looks like you're at a auction signs. I mean, it was, John Fetterman called it a sad cavalcade of self-owns and unhinged petulance. I love him. I thought he should have won last week. The Democrats seem so lost. And here's Jasmine Crockett, who is, I thought, a big leader in the Democratic Party. Her quote is, "This is a terrible nightmare. Somebody slap me and wake me the f*** up because I'm ready to get on with it." On with what would be my first question. And also, this is the way this is like how a podcaster talks or some shit. Can you imagine, I don't know, Obama saying?
They see it. They're like, this is the wrong direction. Jasmine Crockett is a nightmare. This woman, they're trying to make her the new sassy.
She's the new Maxine Waters.
Yeah, she's like the new Maxine Waters. And so even she tries to do this TikTok thing, and I think it has something to do with the Kendrick Lamar Super Bowl viral TikTok thing people are doing, right, dance? And it just fell flat because people are just making fun of her. And they're making fun of her because it's ghetto.
You really about to do it?
40 acres in the mule. This is bigger than the music.
You really about to do it?
Yeah, they tried to rig the game, but you can't fake influence.
Think it on it like that.
Hey, I'm tripping, I'm sliding, I'm riding through the back like buck. Mustard on a beat, bro, any rap, he a freak though, man down, call like Amber Lambs, tell him breathe, now them boys to the cross, they walk around like T.
Again, no men, woman power. And, again, Bill was right when he talked about the women wearing pink. Mm-hmm. It's just this party has been taken over by these far left, mostly women, and, men who don't have any balls at all. You know what I mean? And so this is just another stunt. And this also shows the laziness of the Democratic Party, because I think for so long the Democratic Party they've had the culture for years. They've had Hollywood. Everybody who was a celebrity was funny.
Yeah.
Like, think about it. Just all the late night talk shows. They were all liberals. And so they really did have the culture. You know, people can understand, especially when it comes to humor, people can understand humor when it comes to making fun of something. You know, this is why when it comes to politics, comedians are really effective. George Carlin, I mean, these people are really effective. And I think for so long they've had the culture that they didn't really have to work hard anymore. It was pretty much they were the fun party, and the Republicans were the boring, stiff shirt,
Hollywood in their back pocket, so
right? White collar, type of party. And now what happened was Trump actually, because he is a celebrity and he was a part of the culture. He came from them, he was a part of the culture, and he kind of made being a Republican cool, and they never saw that coming. That someone would steal at least that thing that they had, that kept people voting for them. I mean, everybody. If you ever watch the DNC, the DNC convention, it's just a flood of whoever's popular at the time. I mean, everybody goes to that convention that's famous. Yeah. And so people like watching it because they get to see all their famous stars on there. And then you go into the Republican convention, and you see,
a snore fest.
Clint Eastwood, John Voight. Like, there's never this culture phenomenon that happens on the Republican side, but this time with Trump, there absolutely was. You know what I mean? And I just think that they realize that they are out of touch, and they're trying so hard to try to grab it back. Popularity, stuff like this. This is what they vote for. Who's cool? The way Barack Obama walks.
And they know their... See, here's the thing about Democrats. This is where they, these Democratic leaders and stuff, they know their base. They know y'all not going to ask any questions. They know that you guys are going to be like, oh my God, give them a song and a dance, and they're going to be fine. They don't worry about the policy part of it, which they didn't. Turned out this last time, people really cared about it. And it's probably because Biden messed up so bad, right? But just bring out a Jasmine Crockett, have her act super ghetto, and she's part of the, culture, and they'll be fine. They'll still vote for you. Just keep them on lock mentally, and then they'll still be doing this. And so what happens is they put her out there, and then they all clap for ignorance, right? Because she starts cussing, and she's so real. They make it sound like she's so real because she cusses and has a foul mouth and is dancing around and stuff. She knows the latest trends and stuff. So they sell that as she's in the know.
Imagine a party that was a party of the Confederate slave trade, a party that was a party that had who was an architect of Jim Crow, the Klan. And then their biggest voting bloc are the very people that they were oppressing. And why are they able to oppress black people like this? It's because black people, we unfortunately applaud ignorance, and they're able just to throw these black politicians in front of us. Remember that one guy that was with the one with the afro?
I'm gonna show it.
The guy with the afro that was a very clean cut black kid in college, and then he gets to be a part of the Democratic Party, and then he becomes no joke, he becomes like a Black Panther.
Yeah, we did a video on this guy, and I don't know his name. I'm sorry. He's a representative of something.
I wanted to do this by partnering with organizations from the Boone Democrats to the Boone Republicans. I want to bring together different voices.
Seem to be lost. Representatives were thrown out of the state house. Democracy seemed to be at its end.
Yeah, so him, right? That was political theater, right? So that was really weird. Now, jump to Jasmine Crockett, and she's making it cool to be ghetto. Here, let me show you some more clips of Jasmine.
And bullshit. Let me just be real. And we weren't gonna sit for that shit. We wouldn't. We showed up. And if he had some sense, then maybe we would have been about that life. But y'all know he ain't got no sense. So please give some love. This took a little bit of coordinating to do for sure. We got some cool shirts. We got Madam Williams.
This is not what we should be doing. I don't even know why we fighting with Greenland. Why we fighting with Greenland? We fighting with Canada. We fighting with Mexico. Yet we in love with Putin. What is happening? Like, this is not America. This is a terrible nightmare. Somebody slap me and wake me the fuck fuck up, because I'm ready to get on with it. That while we may not have the numbers just yet, that doesn't mean that we don't have fight left in our bodies. And so I am going to fight him every step of the way until we get what we deserve, because it was my ancestors that built this motherfucker.
They use these people every once in a while, like AOC. She's another minority that they have at drag shows, and she's sitting there all dragged up with drag queens, gaslighting everyone as well.
Also dancing and acting like a fool.
Dancing, acting like a fool.
Because
they know it's a clown show.
They know that.
How do you get a party that once owned slaves? I mean, Republicans, they free the slaves. So how do you get a bunch of people that you enslaved, not just during slavery. Yeah. But then after slavery, when Jim Crow, they were the architects of that.
Thanks.
And the Klan.
Yeah.
And
the Klan.
They're
biggest crazy.
And Black people can never stop talking about these three things.
Yeah.
This is the reason why Black people today have so much problems, because of those main three things. And yet that same party has a 90% voter block of those same people. And how are they able to do it? They're able to do it because they get what you call slavers. Black people who are willing to get paid and carry water for a bunch of, to me, in my opinion, racist liberals.
Yeah.
If you want to go further, I think it's Marxism and communists, but mostly that. You know what I mean? And this is the dumbing of America, and it's because we visually we get enticed by our visual eyes, and we just believe what any of these people say.
They're not ever going to put up a woman who is articulate or sounds right, even if they actually are. So there's a video of Jasmine Crockett being, I believe, what I would say was to be herself, and she's normal. But they don't want Democrats to see a soft-spoken Black woman. No. They want the sassy, loudmouth, ghetto Black woman, because they know that their voter bloc is saying thumbs up to that. And so here's a video of her talking a little bit, and you'll see. And apparently, Jasmine Crockett comes from...
She goes to private school.
Private school. That's like her private school was like $30,000 a year. She went to a college that was like $55,000 a year. So she's what we're seeing is not who she is, because this is who she is.
Good to see you in the new year. No one could have told me that when I went down to Austin, now looks like a little bit over a year ago, that I would be running for Congress. It's just not what my plan was. But what I've always decided is that I would step up when there was a need. But when she called me and said, I think it's time for me to retire, and you're the one that I believe should take my seat, I really was kind of caught off guard.
That woman turned into this woman.
I'm trying to get clarification. Look at, calm down. Calm down. No, because this is what y'all do.
They send them to Texas. They send them to Florida. Every deplorable state that we can think about, they usually coming out of y'all's think tank.
Don't tell me to calm down. Calm down. Because y'all talk noise, and then you're out of control.
So the question now becomes, well, you know what? Why would they want that? Why would they want that? Because Black Democrats in general, do not respond to articulate Black women.
But I'm keeping it real, Black people won't.
That's right.
We know now that Beyonce came from Texas,
a nice,
and she also came from private school. But in order for her to be famous, she had to be ghetto. Yeah. I mean, this is the reason why they can't. They know that the Black vote is their voter base, and if Black women don't want to, play the role that they have selected us to play, the loudmouth feminist, ghetto person, Black people won't. They believe Black people won't understand. And honestly, the way we vote, maybe we won't.
It's true, though.
You know what I'm saying? Yeah. That's just how I feel. And I think that we should be offended by this. But I can tell you, most women will not be. Most Black women won't be offended by this at all.
No. We have lost all decorum and tact. And any kind of evidence that we are somewhat civilized, It's gone into the Jasmine Crockett's of the world. That's what they're looking up to now. I was watching Lee Peterson talk about this, and he made a lot of sense to me. I know a lot of people, he's very controversial, but he talked about Jasmine Crockett and really just the whole Black woman Democratic base and why they're going towards that. And I just thought he was very right. I thought he was so accurate when he said this.
Thinking about what's happening in our government right now, And one thing that I realized, I saw this woman, Jasmine Crockett, maybe Crockett too, but Crockett, maybe Crockett, but and Maxine Waters and another black woman with no hair, how they're acting in our government, and not just them, these other black women as well. And it is awful. It's awful. And what America don't realize, and maybe they do, but they're just afraid to stop it. America has made a horrible mistake allowing black women, black females to get into government, to get into your business and try to run your companies, to try to run the police department or anything. You have made a horrible mistake. And America is already regretting it, but you're going to regret it even more so. Because the one thing that you don't realize, or maybe you do, but just afraid to stop it or say it or anything, is that black people do not know how to run anything. They just don't know how. They have no self-control, no knowledge of how to do anything good. And everything they touch turned to ghetto. And the reason for that, first of all, they have not been taught discipline, self-discipline in their homes. And they have not been taught it in the schools because white people are afraid to correct the blacks. And then black females have been taught that they suffer. The black females suffer so much. And the black females do not respect black men. And as a result of not being corrected by the black men, their fathers, their boyfriends, their uncles, and their nephews, and their male cousins, and grandpa, and no one, they have gone completely out of control. And then the white people tell them they understand because it's hard on the black female. She had it hard. She went through slavery, and then she had to take care of the family, and she this. And so black females cannot run anything. They have stone attitudes, and they feel entitled, and they lost all sense of self-control. And America, you will regret it.
People will say, "Oh, they don't care, aren't you?" Isn't that an insult? Aren't you offended by what he's saying? Absolutely not. Absolutely not. I'm never offended by truth, even if it's harsh, because I think that needs to be said. Because everything he said there was actually absolutely correct. We have fallen as our country in general has gotten weird. But when we narrow this down to black leadership and Jasmine Crockett of the world and got the Muppet, look at him, Maxine Waters and all these people, like it's by allowing, I think, women in general to lead in this way, it's never good. But black women, we are in a state of emergency with how we are behaving, and having them in leadership to me is a huge mistake. I mean, he's so right.
Yeah. Look, I don't want black people running this country. I mean, call me what you want to call me. I can't imagine this country being run by Hispanics and blacks. I'm sorry. I'm a black woman, but I just don't think we understand the world. I think we are lost in our own self-pity. Our neighborhoods are shambles. Our school systems are shambles. The black people that run these cities, Anthony Johnson, main one, but a lot more. They run all of these cities right into the ground, and we see it when they're in small government. You know, Barack Obama didn't do anything magnificent. He made things worse, in fact, because he talked about race too much. And this is a man that was raised by his white mother. Yeah. You know, black men have completely dropped the ball in being the leaders of the black community. Black women are way out of control because of it.
He's right when he says that,
he's right.
Is that we don't have any leadership.
We don't have any leadership, and when the black woman is not supposed to be the leader, it's supposed to be black men. Black men have decided they don't want to be. I just saw a video the other day when they said that black men want to be courted like women. And this is a black man doing the video. He's not for it. He's just showing what's happening with the black man mentally. You know what I mean? And what is now, because of that, for the last 60, 70 years, since the Black Panthers was 2/3 women.
Yeah.
Black women. There were more black women in this position than there were, you know. I just think, even when you look back at Marcus Garvey, I did watch a documentary the other day of his little army back in the 20s, and mostly women, black women, putting black women ahead of him. That's what he's doing, putting black women ahead. And he even went, one of the people that were part of the documentary, a black man, he said he would have rather elevated more black women. He said this because he said he felt that black women were better leaders than black men. Marcus Garvey. The one black people all fawn over, because he's a man of the people. He tried to do a revolution in America. Again, I don't think this country could ever survive.
Unfortunately,
with black leadership. I'm just sorry.
Unfortunately, black people, we're not fit to lead a country in that way. And however anyone feels about that, I would encourage you to take a deep dive into the way that we look right now and our behaviors and the things that we do, even with our black political officials. Really look at it. Look at it. And then you tell me if you think that black people and people like Jasmine Crockett and Maxine Waters and Presley, whatever her name is.
I mean, Al Sharpton. How much longer do we have to realize that Al Sharpton is a hustler?
It's a mistake.
He's a liar. And he makes money off the Democratic Party by hustling and lying and gaslighting. Look at Ben Crump. Where'd he come from?
Right.
Now, all of a sudden, he's this black man that's out here doing, you know what I mean? It's just the sad truth. And I don't want our country. We have a great country. But let's just keep it real. Did we have slavery? Did they build some things? Sure.
Yes.
But they didn't build this country. This country was set up. Sorry. The wars and everything were all set up. Our law, our judicial system, our constitution, we're all white men. White men who thought far beyond themselves. They knew it was going to outlive them. You know what I mean? And I just do not think that this country is going to do well with a bunch of minorities. And I'm just going to say that just look at their countries. Go to Africa. Go to Haiti.
That's the test.
Right. Go to Africa. Go to Haiti. Go to Jamaica. Go to South America. Talking about Hispanics too. Go to Dominican Republic. Go to all of these countries that we all seem to think need to run America. And then how are they doing their own country? I tell you, they're leaving their country. Mexicans, they all want to leave their countries and come here. Just want to say that Jesse Lee Peterson is absolutely right. And I know a lot of people don't like him. They want to call him all kinds of things, because the one thing that Blanchard Robinson actually does, remember, I think we actually did this. He actually has this thing, it's called I can't remember. I should know. I just now thought of it. But he was just saying basically the sins of blackness. Remember that?
And he was saying
it was like the God, he was just saying it yesterday, but something about of pride. Let's just say sins. I don't know what he said, but he's saying there's pride, envy, jealousy, and these are what black people live on. We are angry, frustrated, envious, and we don't really know how to let things go.
Yeah.
And by the way, all you have to do is go into black communities to see that, how we treat each other.
Right.
And so you think I want those people? These people? My people?
Nope.
Running anything? I mean, we can't even run businesses, so I don't have any black businesses. Really.
Yeah, I think we need to be real. I think we need to get real about that.
Just be honest about it.
I guess when I was thinking about Jasmine Crockett, it automatically make me think of, what if she was running something, like really running something? I don't think that we're ready yet.
No,
I'm not saying we'll never be ready, but I do, and I think it would have to take like a black, like really conservative. I'm not talking about some neocon or rhino. I'm talking about a real Christian conservative Republican black man
But look how Black America treats Clarence Thomas.
Yeah. Look at that.
He's a Supreme Court.
Yeah.
You should be applauding this man, but they hate him because he's conservative.
Yep.
And he stands for something, you know. And so to me, look, I just think that people always go, oh, well, white people made mistakes too. Look at slavery. Look at all this. I'm like, yeah, well, black people owned slaves too in this country.
Yeah.
You know, they enslaved each other overseas. That's why we were over here in the first place. We were sold to white colonizers. Black people then owned slaves in this country. And then, if you want to talk about Jim Crow, we had better demographics in our community as far as marriage, church attendance, our grades for our kids in school, our marriage rate.
Our overall morale was better.
And we just had we had safe neighborhoods under Jim Crow. Now we don't have Jim Crow, and I wouldn't walk down most of these black neighborhoods alone.
And neither would you. So
Everyone knows it's the truth.
But you know, and I know that what we're saying is not going to sit well with most black people. It's fine. And I also know that what we're saying is pretty controversial, but it doesn't make it any less true. So, you know what I mean? So people will be upset at this, but you know, you will be, if you're upset and you get upset at this, you're just going to be loud and wrong.
Yeah.
Okay, and I just again encourage you, just look at where we're at right now. And minorities in general, by the way. I'm not even talking about just, you know, and women women are not even a minority. But look how they're acting right now. I think even women shouldn't be running anything. So I'm talking about just minorities in general. Having them run a country just seems. I'm seeing the destruction.
Yeah.
I mean, I can't visualize anything different than the destruction. Things have to massively change before you ever, it would have to be like a whole different ball game.
Our community has to be really good before it thinks about how can you say you want to run a country and we can't even run our own homes right.
Yeah. Everything's out of order.
Out of order, 100%. And I don't feel comfortable with it. Yeah. I'm sorry. You know, people always, oh, well, you know, we need more people of color here. Why? Why? For what? What's that going to do?
Yeah. Our next video is going to be about Frank Zanu, and it's kind of covering this topic a bit. It's kind of this is going to be talked about tomorrow, a little bit more tomorrow. Guys, I think that as a whole, the Democratic Party is a mess. I think they're making the wrong move. I don't think they know what they're doing. They're trying something different. I guess you can give them that. They're trying to do something different, but it's just not going to work. And if you think you're gonna tote out a Jasmine Crockett type and think that you're gonna win, you are wrong. You could not be more wrong if you think you're gonna pull her out here and think she's gonna be changing something. But anyways, let us know what you think, you guys. Leave some comments below. We'd love to hear your thoughts.